Hello, 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 friends. Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. I have received a package from France today. Apparently that's how you say France. From France. And today I'm taking a look at what was within that package. Scandal Absolu from Jean-Paul Gaultier. So I bought this one off the good old interwebs, and frankly, I probably paid too much for it. You know, shipping was, I think, close to 30 doll hairs, so not cheap. But that's okay. That's okay. It's I just keep telling myself that. But I really wanted this one because the original Scandal and Scandal Le Parfum are both fantastic scents for pulling attention. Very easy wearing fragrances that have grown on me a bunch since they were both released. And this one looked like the most interesting of the line so far, if for no other reason than because the bottle is shiny. I like shiny. So I've had this for a couple days now. I've been giving it some wear, and I figured time to do some quick first impressions, and that's what we're gonna be doing here today. I'll show you guys the presentation, let you know how it smells to me, and also how this one stacks up against those other two Scandals. I don't think that as of when I'm shooting this video that it's available in the US anywhere yet, whether we're talking discounters, retail, anything like that. It is on eBay. But again, a little pricey. But if you want it, it's there. And if I find it at any other stores by the time I put this video up where it's a little bit easier to pick up, then I'll link that down below also. Let's go ahead and start things off by taking a look at the presentation. So here we have on the front of the box the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size, and concentration. The concentration is Parfum Concentré. I got the 50 ml size. Up top, it says Scandal. On the back, you have a QR code. And on the bottom, your badge code and barcode. Badge code is 40241, and the box has that fuzzy feel to it, you know, that kind of like, I don't know, velvety cardboard. I hate that. I don't know, it's one of those things, like certain textures you don't really like. I don't really like that. It's just a quirk. It's just a personal quirk. There's no problem with velvet cardboard. And here we have the bottle. Really like the look of this one. So you have a gradient on the front. It's reflective. At the bottom, it's a golden reflective paint, and up top it is clear yellow coloration to the fragrance on the inside as well. So very gold, very blinged out. On the front of the bottle, you can see where it says Scandal. You have the little crown cap as usual. This one with a kind of brownish interior there. Looks black, but that's because you get shadows like from the crown, so that little piece on the inside there is actually kind of a brown coloration. It says Jean-Paul Gaultier right up at the top of the crown. On the bottom, you have your badge code, and the crown cap clicks into place. And then you also have the Jean-Paul Gaultier name on top of the atomizer as well. Let's go ahead and share a couple sprays here. Here we go. Atomizer is really nice. It doesn't feel exactly pressurized, you know, not in the same way as like a Dior Sauvage or something like that, but it feels really good. You can control the amount of the spray really easily. Now, before we start talking about the fragrance itself, how it smells, here are some codes you can use to save money across different websites. One of the newest codes is Gents for 10% off at theperfumebox.com. It's good for the entire website. Also have GS11 for 11% off at fragflex.com. Gents10 and Gents20 for 10 or 20% off at maxaroma.com. Kind of depends on the fragrance. Some you can get 20, some you can get 10. And then Gents 10 for 10% off at Twisted Lily as well. All right, let's start talking about this new skin. As I said before, the original Scandal and Scandal Le Parfum, at least the men's fragrances, when I say the original Scandal, you could be like, you mean the women's one? No, of course not, for the men. Those two, both, I feel like, really, really good for fall and winter time, daytime or evening, but especially evening. Good for date situations, night out situations, big compliment pullers, and they have grown on me, as I said, immensely. And also, for what it's worth, in the US, Scandal is not really a huge fragrance release. So what that means is you don't have too many people wearing those fragrances, which is good because it means you could have that. And while it's from a really well-known brand and it's really well done, it's not ultra common, which makes this one potentially even more interesting than it already is. Oh, whoa. Cap on this is pretty sturdy too. That's not coming off. So how does this guy smell? Well, in a word, off the top, sweet. Yeah, it's really sweet off the top. Actually, the first time I smelled this, that's what I thought. I was just like, ooh, that is like sticky sweet. when you first spray it on, like syrupy, sweet on top of sweet. It really is just a wallop. Now, I've worn it a few times at this point, so I know that that opening is coming. It doesn't really surprise me like it did the first time, but yes, when you very first spray this on the first time, you might just think to yourself, that's literally, that's all this is, sweetness. So as a very appealing Mirabelle plum note off the top, it gives you a different fruity kind of opening, but it is, again, sweet, and I'm gonna move away from that descriptor as we go, but that really is how it opens. You've got some honey in there that's gonna give you a bit of that stickiness, that sticky, syrupy, kind of sweet pop when it first hits your skin. And while that's mainly how it comes across in the opening, it smells awesome. Like, this is one that I have loved after I got over that initial shock of holy heck, this is just sweet, 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 and sweet. After I got over that, which again was the first time that I wore it, I have really grown to love this in just a couple days. But this is fair warning that if you don't like fragrances that have a saccharine, sticky, sweet, kind of thick opening, then this one may not be for you. As it starts to dry down, you get the chestnut that comes out, and it smells really, really good. It's not a really intensely powerful chestnut note or anything like that, but you do get that nuttiness in here. It kind of sits in the background a little bit, but then it's present for a long time, and it really helps fill this fragrance out. If it was not there, this would not smell as good as it does. It plays a very important role. Now, of course, with that chestnut in here, it's going to remind you potentially of a little bit Stronger With You style fragrances, Stronger With You Absolutely, stuff kind of like that. It is not the same as those fragrances, of course, but it is, you could say, in that family. And while, yes, there is a good dose of sweetness off the top, it does have, a little freshness in there as well. And it shares that with the original Scandal and Scandal Le Parfum, because both those fragrances really at their heart are, like I said before, made for fall, winter time. A lot of people would say evening time usage. And while that's true, they do have a bit of freshness in there, especially in the opening and the first part of the mid. This one does as well. And although the first time you spray this on, you may not get that as much, in subsequent times that you wear it after that first time, you'll be able to pick that up a little bit. As this heads into the dry down, you get a nice woodiness that comes out. Sandalwood is a base note here. It's not an overly creamy sandalwood or anything like that, but it does give a nice woodiness there that you pick up that melts together more with that chestnut as this dries. And to me, this stuff is fantastic. As far as the Scandal line goes, this one is going to be my favorite. I've only had it for a couple days, so maybe that is jumping the gun a little bit, but the other Scandal fragrances, I like those more as time went on, each of them. And so if that happens here, then this is going to be clearly above the other two, just my own personal taste. But those two other fragrances in the Scandal line are also great as is. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, those suck or those get bumped down. No, they're still just as good as they've ever been. It's just I really like the little twists and changes in this one. You can still clearly tell this is a Scandal fragrance at the end of the day. It's not something that smells, markedly different or removed massively from what the first two did or anything like that. But I very much enjoy what they did do here. So there's a lot to love here for me. And that opening, actually, now I look forward to, and I want to smell the opening over and over. So it's the type of fragrance that you want to reapply, because even though it smells great, fantastic when that chestnut comes in, that opening is different. This is one that has clear changes from opening to mid to dry down, and sometimes you just want to spray it on again. But the problem with that is it's pretty strong. So you don't want to reapply too many times, or else you're going to quickly cross the threshold of, holy crap, that guy sprayed on too much stuff. What is wrong with him? I hate that guy. You don't want to be that. So yeah, the performance is pretty good. It's pretty good. It lasts a long time. Projection is solid, especially initially. And it's not one you're gonna probably want to go crazy heavy with if you're worried about potentially choking people out. So for me personally, there's not much to complain about here. Performance is good. Really good. It's got the compliment factor, just like the other two. Opening smells really nice after you get over the shock of it. And then that chestnut, I think, is perfectly done. It's maybe too subtle for some people. Like I know some people would like it ramped up more, but I can pick it up really clearly. And I think that the way it's used is perfect for what they're doing here. And I would expect this to kind of be how the first two have been. And that means if you know, you know, but a lot of people won't. And the main thing that I think would turn some people off from this, the opening. Some people are gonna love it, but some people are gonna just smell it the first time, which frankly, the first time I smelled it, I didn't like it at first, and then write it off. I could see that happening. But if you give it a try, wear it out around people, good stuff. Oh, seasons. I almost forgot. Unfortunately, this is being released as it starts to heat up a lot in the Northern Hemisphere, and it is not a spring, summertime fragrance. There's a little freshness in here, a little bit, yeah, but not like spring, summer fresh. This is fall and winter time. Yeah, this is fall and winter time through and through. Probably leans a little more toward evening use, but still, you can wear it during the day, who cares? But seasonality wise, probably gonna be sitting on my shelf for a little while. But hey, that just means it gets to macerate for whatever, 5 months. Macerate. Yeah, I'm not gonna wear this until fall, and that's unfortunate, you know, that it's coming out right now because it's not made for right now as far as heat goes, but at least it's out. Better later than never, or maybe better earlier than it should have been released than never. I don't know. So there we go, Scandal, Absolu. I like it. Thumbs up, dig the stuff. Yeah, that's it. This is what I got for you. If you smell that one, let me know what you think about it. Again, you can find it right now in the US if you order from Europe, but you're gonna pay a pretty penny for shipping, and depending on who you buy it from, you may pay a little over retail. So if you have the patience, you know, try to wait until you can pick it up for at least a slightly better price. But if not, if you're like me and you say heck with it, I don't think you'll be too disappointed, assuming you like the first two in the line. Thank you guys. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.